And I have tried absolutely everything. And there's somebody listening who's going to say, well, Shelly, you just didn't try XYZ. Listen, I have tried everything. I even have a memo from the Michigan Surgeon General saying she should not be medically disqualified. And yet National won't let me in. So my point here is that now I find myself, I've graduated seminary. I am an ordained minister. I am a chaplain. I thought God wanted me to be a military chaplain. The military does not want me. So what do I do with that? And that kind of brings us to our next piece of what do you do with that? You believe that God called you to do certain things and you followed his steps and you did your checklist. And now it doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like. But that's okay, right?
Wait, let me pause here. So I just want to make sure I'm hearing correctly. So sometimes our plans are not God's plans. Is that what I'm hearing you say, Shelly?
Well, here's what God told me. I was extremely brokenhearted and I was driving and I hit a red light. And before I could make the turn, I was just crushed. I had my discharge orders. I was no longer in the military. That's a whole piece of identity that was just stripped from me like unexpectedly. And I said, God, why? And I heard the voice of God and he said, Shelly, do you need to be a soldier to serve the soldiers? And that was all I ever needed to hear.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that his plans, there are probably things you can do not being a soldier or in the military or in that structure that probably can have an impact that you may not have even realized. So tell me about that. What are you observing now that you've kind of gotten that message from the Lord at the red light, which is awesome, I believe. And so now where's that leading you?
We opened our business in 2017. So when I was still in, and I still thought I was going to be a military chaplain, we opened as educational consulting. And we teach, train, educate, really just wanted to drive home the message of mental wellness and things like work-life balance. In the military, we call it resiliency. It's not about how to get back up once you fall. It's about continuously moving forward. And so that's what I knew. I have a love for large scale public speaking on a stage. Public speaking is the #1 fear in the world, and I don't have it. So I'm pretty sure that that's a God-given gift, right? And so what we decided to do with our business is just move forward and try to teach, train, and educate. And so over the years, now that I do have the chaplain title as a civilian, and I feel that I have enough external validation for the world to be able to stand as a professional on my own 2 feet, as an accomplished young woman, to be able to say, I know what I'm talking about. Here are the life lessons that your company needs, that your staff members need, that the members of your church need to hear. And so through that, God sends people who see value in what we do and encourages us to find ways to work together. So a good example of that, a few years back, I was approached by a military chaplain, Chaplain Brian Webb. He works for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and he is what's called the veteran liaison for the entire state. And Chaplain Webb came to me and said, Shelly, I'm looking for a female to lead up a female peer support program for all of the military women in the state of Michigan. Boom, that's me, right? So specific, so unique, such an opportunity.